Men, focus on yourself. That's the truth that is not really adhered to. Um, and that could be for a number of reasons. Um, but at the most fundamental level, you have to look out for you. There will be no one to come along to look out for you. I had a discussion with the woman. She's really stupid and ignorant, and I'm happy I got her out of my life. Where she even dared to try to compare how even women who are looking for a man will sometimes go and get a man who's not fully capable of doing all the things that a woman wants, and therefore a woman uh wouldn't mind getting a man who doesn't have this long laundry list of things that she wants done, and that's completely a lie. That is completely a lie. Uh, Women do have different types. Women don't really have a type, and that goes against their argument. Men, we usually have somewhat of a type. Women don't have a type because women are dependent on men. So any old man will work. If y'all really want to be honest and really want to know, any man will work. So women do not go around looking for men that they can uh, boss up, or not even boss up, but that they truly care about and wouldn't mind like men do. Women are very selfish because they know that we have this idea that they're loving. So for them to be very selfish is them admitting that they know that they have something that men want. We want their love, right? People always want what they can't have, right? Think about it like that. Women want women want power, they want control, women want dominance, right? And the way for women to get power, control, and dominance throughout history, even until today, in these times, has been through marriage. That's how a woman would uh, get the power that she needs to to live in the world. So that's how that would go. Now, men, we always want sex. So you can see how that goes. We want sex. We want to feel love. You know what I'm saying? We want to feel appreciated, and women are the gateway to that, right? They are loving beings. Going back to what I just said, they are somewhat loving, these quote unquote loving beings, right? They're supposed to be nurturing. Well, we want that because we're not loving and nurturing and sexy. Women are. So how do we get that? We get that from the woman. But I'm getting off topic. My whole point is Um, the whole point I'm making is the whole point I'm making is you have to focus on yourself because you aren't special to women. Women have an internal angst against men that they lie about, that they don't tell us about, and they are very deceitful and conniving about it. They really have this thing about men, about us, that any man will work. You're replaceable. Okay? I'm telling you something that you probably didn't know. You are replaceable in that woman's eyes. That's why people wondering, oh, why the divorce rate is the way it is. Why are people splitting up? Why are the homes and the family split up? It's precisely that reason right there. Because women do not view men, especially brown and black women, do not view men as special or irreplaceable or unique. You are not unique. And since all of you like brown and black women, remember, like I said, men, we are picky. We do have a type, but our type does not stop at racial lines. We step far out of our racial lines. Unlike women, or whatever you call race. I don't believe in race, but women maintain within the racial lines. That's why a lot of times when you see a white woman with a black man or something like that, it's usually like it's strange in some type of ways. I'm not trying to get all deep in that, but it's strange to other people in some type of ways because they're like, oh, she ain't supposed to do that. Like, she not supposed to do that. You see what I'm saying? And that's how some other ethnic groups are with black people as well. Or that's how some other groups might be amongst each other. But it's usually seen as the woman doesn't do that. But remember, it takes two. So there's another person on the other side if a person steps out of their so-called group. You see what I'm saying? All I'm saying is you're replaceable. You see what I mean? You're replaceable. Do not think that your woman does not view you as replaceable. I don't mean in a confident sort of meaning. I mean, she will never tell you this, but you are not special to her. She believes any man and every man and each man and all men that come along in her life that simply fuck her have to take care of her. Okay? Some women take it a step further and feel like just because they give a man a time of day that he has to take care of her. I'm telling you, this is not some kind of thing of, oh, women can't help it. No, they know exactly what they're doing. Because her thing is, there is a guy out there, and she knows that there's no woman that's going to take care of you. So you have to put up with this because you can't do any better. And in some ways, she's right. We can't do better than women. There is no other alternative. Like the old saying goes, women can't live with them, can't, if you know the other joke, let's just say can't live without her. You're stuck, right? I'm not complaining. I've accepted. Women are the way they are, but that's not just good enough. That's not good enough. They can help some of these biological things that is taking place, because a lot of guys who are on the internet now just say, well, it's just biological. They can't help it. No, they can help it, because you know why? They have something called a brain. That's what they have. So I'm not going to call out these men who are giving women, or who are complete tender, you know what's complete tender D's when it comes to women, oh, I have never done anything wrong. I've never done anything wrong. And I've done stuff wrong before. And I didn't do anything wrong to women who did something to me or just because I'm a bad guy. I did something wrong because more than likely a woman had done something to me and tried to set me up. So yeah, that whole setup thing is true. And when you're getting set up, there's no way that you can just plan your way out of it, because you want to know why? You don't know that you're being set up really when you're being set up. And when you catch on that you're being set up, it's too late, because they play it perfectly. That's what I'm talking about. Women are deceptive. That does not mean that every woman is a bad woman or you can't use her deception to your advantage. You must understand all is vanity, all is manipulation, all is energetic control and feeling and things like that. Women absolutely bask in the fact that everything with them is feeling and nerve and chemical based. None of it is consciousness. They don't want to live in consciousness. They want to be able to live in their feelings, because their feelings give them some kind of mind control. They think over us. Think about it. It's kind of like, that ESP stuff. They feel like they have a connection with like the fourth dimension or something, and they can feel things cosmically that you can't, simply by them being women. Now, they can understand all of this smart stuff, all of this intellectual stuff. It is intellectual because you got to be able to understand that. All of this academic stuff, then why can't they understand that them believing that they're superior to you, because that is a superiority complex. That's a superiority complex to think that they have to be worshiped by you, and that all men should bow before them and take care of them. I'm just talking about bare bones facts. Those are the facts. You're seeing it everywhere. Women think that you were put on earth to take care of them. Okay? And it doesn't matter their background. They all think that. If you come at them with religion and say, well, hey, I was actually here first. Pretty much every spiritual system and religious text says the man was first. Right? And that's for a number of reasons that I won't get into. But women, for all their cosmology and astrology and astronomy and all of this spiritualness and all of this stuff, they can't put that together why man would be first and why they would be created last. They can't put it together. They don't want to put it together. The world revolves around them. Each and every one of them in their own world, all of them are pretty. Even with other women, all of them are pretty. That's the mean girl complex. That's what I call it. In front of another girl, women would not be honest with a man. It's kind of like how you got that, situation where people are talking about where you got these sellout male friends where when a woman comes along, but we already know that men do that. Men would absolutely sell each other out for a woman. They do. We know that. You see what I'm saying? But women don't really do that. They'll be mean to each other in their own way. They have their own way of being mean. You see what I'm saying? Men, we always know who the jerk is in our crew. I bet you'll have a hard time finding out who the jerk is with women. You would probably have a hard time. And the answer is that all of them are jerks, more than likely. With guys, it's more of a kind of a hierarchical thing. That doesn't mean that one guy is better than the other. It just means that one guy is going to make sure that everybody sees him, kind of thing. You know what I mean? With women, not so much. As I said, they're all this. They're all whatever. They're all pretty. With men, not so much. Hey, we're not all the same, right? We got different strengths, different weaknesses even. But I can help my brother out to get strong in a place where he might be weak, or he can help me get strong in a place that I might be weak. You see what I'm saying? But with women, nope. They ignore all the weaknesses. A woman would have to be way out of line to not, usually have a homegirl group. With men, you know how it is. You know how it is. It's tough finding guys who really, can identify with what you're going through. Because we don't play that everybody's the same game. We don't do that. And it's probably hurting us at this point. It more than likely is. Because women have, as I said, have all said, it's like they all have agreed to agree that a man has to do things. Men, we have not sat around and said that a woman has to do. Nope. We're too busy just, hey, these are 3 things that I need from my woman. 3 things. Think about it. There are 3 things maybe that you probably need from your woman. You could probably nail it down to 2 or even 1. How's that coming along? How's that going? How's getting that one thing you're going? You want how's that going? Getting that going, right? You want some constant sex from your wife, right? You want to make love to your girlfriend, right? You want to do it with your girl, right? How's that coming along? You see what I mean? How's that coming? But I'm pretty sure as a man, you do a number of things around the house for her, for your children, for yourself, so she doesn't have to come along and do things for you. You're a modern man. But when you want some time with her, it's a problem. What does she usually go back to? Well, it's because I have to work. Working is a human condition. And you want to be independent in some way, right? That's what women want. You see what I mean? They don't know what they want. So they go to what they don't want. And what women don't want to do is work. They do not want to work. Women do not want to spend their own money. I've never seen a woman that wanted to spend her own money, especially when there was a man around. Doesn't matter who the man was. See what I'm saying? Doesn't matter who the man was. That's why I tell fellas all the time, hey fellas, if you got a friend, you got a homie who got money, don't bring him around your girl. Or if you want to see how your girl really is, bring her around the guys then. It don't have to be a situation where it's just him. He can bring his girl or his wife, but just bring your woman, and you can have money. Bring her around someone who has more money than her, especially if the guy is single, and just watch. Oh man, your girl, as I said, you got money. She'll probably look at you. If that guy is offering to buy everybody's food, she'll probably look at you like, you're being an asshole. He's going to buy it. She's probably not going to say it. I'm not going to say she's going to say it, but she's going to be looking at you like, let him pay for it. And this is your friend. This is your homie. So, with y'all, money ain't even a issue. It's not about that. You see what I'm saying, right? It's not about that. You'll pay for things sometimes, or he'll pay for things sometimes. But your woman is used to what? Never paying for anything. She's never used to coming out of her own pocket. Or if she is, because you left your wallet, or you know what I'm saying, your credit card, whatever the hell the excuse is, or the ATM was down, you gotta give her that money back. You gotta give her money back. When is she ever giving you money back? When? That's not yours. That's what I'm saying. You having to give her money back from your money is insane. But yet I've seen it all the time. I've seen it all the time. Well, yeah, man, let me, when I'm doing business with my friends, well, let me pay you from this account because, I don't want my wife to see that it came out of this. God damn. It's true though. And that's a fact of life, of men. And maybe if we shed more light on it, it wouldn't seem like it was a something to hide, or like a, man, you let your wife do that situation. Because the fact of the matter is, it's not about clowning anyone or making it feel like, oh, you let your wife do that. The fact of the matter is, not enough men have been in relationships to know that this is how women operate. They'll just tell you this, or they'll just hear about it, but they don't know that this is how women actually operate. That a woman, especially a modern woman, and when I mean modern, I mean any woman that is younger than 50, because maybe around 50, they finally start to get some sense. Or I'm saying older than that because your mom or your auntie or whatever like that, or your sisters or whatever, maybe might be born from a different generation, and they look at men providing differently. You see what I'm saying? They're not looking at any man. She's looking at her man. So that changes the context of it. Because when a woman says, well, my man will take care of me, she doesn't feel like any old guy out there, Joe Schmo, will take care of her. Why? Because she's not stupid like today's woman, who feels like any man will take care of her. Then you wonder why, like I said, your relationships are horrible. You wonder why your woman talks back to you the way that she talks back to you. And I do mean talk back. That's because she doesn't value you. The reason why you don't argue with her is because you value her in a number of ways, consciously and subconsciously. She doesn't value you. You don't want to lose her, so you're not going to talk to her crazy. She's going to talk to you crazy, though. She's going to say everything that she feels. She's literally going to tell you how she feels just because she got to have the last word. She wants to have the last word. Regardless of her not having control of whatever, she just is not going to let you say something and just shut her mouth. She's not going to do that. A woman who values you, she will actually do that. And it's not about controlling her. She values you. You're valuable to her. You're somebody to her. She doesn't value you. She's going to say whatever she wants to say, man. She's going to say the most hurtful things she can say. Because where are you going to go? That's why guys say things like, well, you got to act like. You got to act like you're talking to other women, or you got to be stoic, or you got to be nonchalant. I do not suggest that any men go out there acting any kind of way. And I'm not the most gangster, hardest dude or whatever, but I'm from the streets, and at the end of the day, I don't fake anything. Stop faking it. That is faking it. If a woman disrespects you, you're being told now to not react. See, this is the stuff this is stupid shit. How about this? Better yet, how about this? Get people out of your life who do not appreciate you. That's easier. That's way simpler. It's way simpler. Because what you're being taught by these other guys are to learn how to accept disrespect by not acting like it's disrespect. That's what they basically tell you. And I'm really kind of trying to talk to y'all on some real stuff right now, because that's really being spread out here, and I don't know why it is. I don't know why it is. I don't understand it at all. I don't understand it. I don't get it. Now, everything does not, necessarily mean that it's applicable to every situation. So why are they telling you that no matter what, when a woman disrespects you, to be nonchalant, if everything is not a one-size-fits-all situation? No, sometimes you have to remove people from you And sometimes, you have to let it go. That's your ego. I don't know you, but that's part of the ego. Not one time did I say react in a way that is consistent with crashing out. I didn't say that. I said get those people out of your life. Yes, take a butcher knife, literally, to a situation that you could have took a toenail clipper to. Get them out your life. Remove them. I don't care what you got to do. You have no time to play with a woman. You understand that women are not to be played with. And that's why you're hearing like a lot of these guys on the internet taking it back to like the old school days. Women are not toys. They're not toys. And if you play with the woman long enough, you're going to find out just how deadly they can be. Man, they make you feel all kind of stuff if you're not ready. Stop playing with these women out here. You're like a lion or a bear cub playing with a deer, a baby deer. Why? You think that's a baby? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying a woman is a baby deer, but it's like, why are you playing with your food? Why are you playing with something that you could be using? And I do mean using to your benefit. You're playing with it, toying with it. And she's just going to go along. That's why men and women who are in a similar financial space, it looks like it's financial. It might not be, but it's definitely mental and spiritual. They stay around each other. And that's why when I found out that some women have been faking it, I cut them off. I cut them off. I don't want you around me. Don't want you ever around me in my life. You're fake. But that's what women are. But it's a limit to it. It's a limit to their fakeness. They are deceptive and they are fake. It's not bad to be fake when you're a woman. Think about it. Women cannot stand up to a man physically. And I don't mean violence-wise. I mean physically, as far as working or maneuvering or even thinking about some things. She can't place herself in that situation. So she must think ahead. She must use her brain way more than she uses her brawn. So women have learned to be very sneaky and very snake-like and very deceptive and fake. And you know what? Going back to my earlier point, what are you going to do about it? They know this tactic serves them because you're not going to do anything about it. You ain't finna get rid of her. You're just going to say, oh, she can't help it. Yes, she can. That is a part of her biological makeup. But she is very conscious. When women make a lot of these decisions, they're conscious. They're right there. It's not something outside of them. They're fully capable beings and they know exactly what they're doing. Some women would rather tell you that they want a man in their life. They would tell you that they want to be loved by a man in their life. But if that meant following that man, you understand? A real man. It doesn't matter. You could be real or not real. It doesn't matter. If you're her type, if you're that guy, all goes well. You understand me? But most of the time, you aren't that type or you aren't that guy. Because why? What did I just say? You're replaceable, so they don't have to find the exact guy that they want. That's why you have so many different looking people on the planet too. Because women aren't picky. They aren't really picky, man. I mean, they're more selective than we are in a lot of ways because they have to have children. So they are more selective. But you would think they would be way more selective. They're not. They make bad decisions all the time. They make horrible decisions about men all the time. Why? Because to them, every guy could be the guy. You understand what I'm saying? I do not buy into this thing that women are somehow, some cold-hearted assassins that plow through men. No, that's a myth. That's the goddess myth. That's the goddess theology, or the goddess truth, whatever you believe in. That's the goddess theory. That has nothing to do about physical, biological women, because if you want to go with the God theory, well, I mean, hey, all you got to do is show me some Egyptian mythology and I can show you, or Egyptian spiritual system, I can show you where the gods, the African Egyptian gods, plowed through women. The gods plowed through women, went through them like it's nothing. Gave way. Remember, they were before Zeus, right? Before Ares. You see what I'm saying? But then you can keep going. So this notion somehow that women just are like, don't care about, men that they go through. Well, in comparison to men, yeah, it's a big deal. But on the grand scheme, in the grand scheme of things, they really don't. Women will do all kind of stuff. They'll go back to a guy that she told you she'll never go back to. She'll go back to him. Absolutely. She'll go back to him. She's probably talked to him or texted him. You see what I'm saying? Because women have this thing, and I think it's always been there, that, a guy will always put up with her stuff. So that's why I'm saying, men, focus on yourself. Now, a lot of times we tell men to focus on themselves, but what does that mean? A lot of guys, well, I'm going to tell you what I start with. I start with spirituality. Love yourself. But the funny thing is, a lot of guys, yeah, that's gay. Well, hey, go check out the male suicide rate. You know what I mean? Go check that out. When you get some time, go check that out. So what I say is self-love. Love yourself. In every meaning of the word, care about yourself. Care about your damn self. Before you get caught up into caring about a woman like that. Yeah, it's good to have relationships with her, with women, or different women. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying don't do that. But what I'm saying is you should not be giving more of yourself to a woman. You should not be giving so much of yourself, so much of your money, so much of your time, so much of your energy. No. You should actually have standards and boundaries. Now, I'm not saying that you should be, I know I'm saying a lot, but then I say I'm not saying. You have to be tactful about it. You cannot go along meeting women and letting them know, like, the first night, like, hey, I don't put up with this, I don't put up with that, I don't put up, like, come on, man. Who does that? That's why you ain't got no women now, because you're doing that type of stuff. You shouldn't do that. I mean, women want to have, above all, women want to have fun. Okay? That's the word of the day. Fun. If you didn't know, all women want to be treated like little girls. They want to be treated, as I said, like, they want to be completely taken care of. But here's the thing, though. If you're that man, if you're that dude, if you're that guy, you're not going to know whether you're him. To her, you have to be that guy. You can break all the rules, all of them. You can break all the rules. That doesn't mean that she's going to not express herself. I'm not saying that. But you can break all the rules and you can do the kind of things you don't want to do. Oh, you ain't got to never marry her. You see what I'm saying? You can continue getting the milk from the cow. But you know what that's going to turn into? You're going to start seeing how stupid she is at the one point. Because this whole time while you're just getting whatever you want from her, you see what I mean? She's fantasizing about you because she's completely in love with you. So you're going to see that she hasn't really grown up. And in love is a romantic term. It's not what you think it is. When a woman is in love with you, that does not mean everything goes smoothly. That is the idea. That is the romance idea that everything will go smoothly from this ratchet sex life you have with her. But that is not a fact that everything will go smoothly. What more than likely will happen is things will come crashing and burning down into a heap of smoldering crap. That's what will happen. That's more than likely what will happen. I'm being real, because you're not going to want to stay there. Because you're going to see that she's turned herself into a vegetable from, oh, I'm in love. Because she wants that. She wants that illness. That's an illness. She wants that sickness. She wants to be in love. And when she, I'm in love. You know what I'm saying? When she's in love with you, you can do whatever you want to do with her. But she's completely useless, though. Unless you just, you want to have a useless woman in your life. You know what I mean? That's what you want, completely useless. Okay. I guess it's a trade-off, But as I said, that woman still wants you to take care of her, though. You made her completely useless, though. She's a complete vegetable, but she still wants you to take care of her. Because she's in love with you. She doesn't care about your aspirations and what you really want to do. You're over here calculating how much. Okay, I got to do this. I got to do this to take care of her. I got to do this to take care of her. I got to do this to take care of her. I got to do this to take care of her. And what do you get? You get a girl who's in love with you. That's what you get. Her gift to you is, I love you. You see what I'm saying? I'm not going to tell you. A lot of these guys tell you, well, never tell the girl you love her. I'm not even going to get into all that. It's just weird how these guys say, well, never do this, never do that, never do this, never do that. And then you want to know why you guys are a whole bunch of soulless beings just roaming the earth like zombies. You know what I'm saying? Just like, you don't even know what to do when you see a woman because you've been so turned down and brain dead from this guy telling you don't have any feelings. You can't have any feelings. Don't have any emotions. So you're just, you just walk around looking like a thug all day. You know what I'm saying? Women see you, women be like, you're scaring the hell out of them and shit. Because, you've been taught not to have it. And you're like, oh, no, I didn't mean it like that. But you're listening to this guy who's telling you not to have any feelings. Because it's simple to do. It's like you tell people when you tell them what to do, you tell them what not to do. Don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. So all they end up doing is nothing. Damn. I'm a fucking genius, man. That's what I'm saying. You feel me? Duh. It's like process of elimination. The process of elimination, you end up doing nothing because you're eliminating everything that you would do. So they tell you, hey, don't have feelings. Well, not having feelings is easier than having feelings. So I gotta try to be positive. You know what I'm saying? It's easier to be blah, however you are, instead of being positive with something and trying to find the positivity. It's easier to just be at your default setting. You know what I'm saying? So when this guy is, or these guys are telling you, or this guy is telling you, hey, don't have emotions. That's way easier externally on the outside looking. It's way easier, and internally too, than saying, well, this is how you should engage with a woman to correct her behavior, right? It's like, you guys already got it easy. Y'all don't understand how easy y'all got it. This is the easiest time that it's ever been to get women. And maybe this should be a talk for another day. But this is absolutely the easiest time that it's ever been to get women. And I don't mean to get women for one night. I'm not saying just to sleep with one. It's also the easiest time for that to possibly. I don't know. That's tough, man, because I believe people were messing around a lot more frequently the further we go back in time. But you got all kind of diseases and STIs and STDs and viruses. It's just way different now. So what I will say is, though, it's easier to get in front of a woman. Let me just say this right now. Anybody out there got a girlfriend? I'm going to tell you right now. You got a girlfriend, you got a wife, you have a fiance, whatever you want to call her. If you have her, she is absolutely talking to another guy. She's talking to another guy. That doesn't mean anything is wrong with you. That is not a reflection of you. But she's definitely talking to another guy. The upside is, as a man, you're probably not talking to any other women. You're probably not in the way that she's talking to another guy. And when I mean talking to another guy, I mean talking to another guy. She's laughing and joking. It's not like a stranger who, has no chance of meeting. No, these are people that she's talking to, whether texting or calling when you're not around. Social media guys that she meets on social media that she flirts with once every blue moon or whatever. But you better believe that there are a lot more guys in her DM than there are yours. You better believe it, buddy. You better believe it. And as I said, unless you're actively going out and doing the same thing she's doing and just, talking to women just to flirt or whatever. But as I said, the potential is there for her greater. It's a greater potential, and it's a greater potential that guys actually want to do something with her, like meet her. Guys are way more likely to step out to meet a woman than a woman is just going to go meet a guy. That's just the truth. You know what I'm saying? So y'all need to be aware of these things. When a woman tells you, oh no, nobody's in my DM, man, she's lying. She's lying, man. She's lying. She checked that DM. She check it. She check it every now and then, and she lets some guys free. She says a hello, a hi, or whatever, just to see if that man gonna be in there, if he talking her language, if he ready to take care of her, if he ready to give her, and she can see the proof that he is, or that he does have it. He got that bag. He is who she say he is, but more than likely he wouldn't be sitting there in the archive section in her DMs, right? And that should let you know that it's not really that many guys who are like that out there, but she's holding out hope. Trust me. Why you think women don't be complaining about getting married no more? It used to be a time women would complain about it. Women don't even complain about it anymore because they know it's a catch-22. They know that it is potentially a guy out there, but then they also know that the likelihood that it is a guy out there, even though it is a guy out there, but the likelihood that she's going to meet him is zero because she would have met him already. Do you want to know how many times women done had a guy tell them, yo, I'll take care of you. I want to be with you. I want you to be with me for the rest of my life. and they let that go. Just talk to your girl about her past, man. So she let that go when she was 20. Hell, let's take it younger than that. 16, 15. Let's say 15. Yeah, a lot of women nowadays who are women were courted little girls. They were courted as little girls by grown men. Grown men want to take care of them. Grown men. That's just the truth. Teenagers. They're teenagers. Grown men was trying to take care of them and be with them. You know? Just trying to spend time with them and be intimate with them. I know it's disgusting. And she's disgusting for doing it. Just be real. A lot of them did it. So, for them to do that and to say, well, didn't want to do that, didn't want to be with him, they just kept doing that. They kept moving the goalposts and saying, don't want to do that. That'll always be there. I'm telling you, that's how they think. They think there's always going to be a guy there who is willing to take care of her and put up with her stuff. Because after all, that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. You're doing that. You're doing that. You're doing that. You're doing it. You're putting up with her stuff that no other guy would have put up with. You're doing it. That's the truth, man. It's the truth. Simple truth. Hey, look. Y'all go ahead and look at the description. I got my email in there. You know what I'm saying? Doing consultations for business. You know, and it'll help you in your life. Check out the website, assetbusinessclass.com. My email is Brando at assetbusinessclass.com. And you can reach me there by email. And I'm going to have a lot more of my contact information on there. Might actually put up a cell phone number or a WhatsApp number or whatever like that. So, you know, I just want to tell you guys, man, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Y'all stay up out there, man. You know what I'm saying? Next time, mañana.